Hold on. Child's hat sold at the gift shop, designed to look a little like Boggy.
I'm not going to worry about how frail that... Note to self, don't fall in. There's a hollow part of the tree, right at... Note to self,
Oh.
You've arrived at a bad time, my friend. For once, they don't actually want tourists walking around this place.
I always arrive at a bad time. It's what I do. I'm a detective, not a tourist.
My apologies. It's just, you have the same wide-eyed expression as the kids that come here. Running around, spending their parents' money, you know.
Well, you know, it's not every day I visit a swamp full of such unique specimens.
It's no problem. You're just thinking what we all thought when we arrived for the first time.
Why didn't they put in a bathroom?
No, you're thinking, this place is beautiful. What a lucky man I am to be here.
I am I? Well, if you say so.
Edward Everstone, at your service.
That's a pretty cool name. Can I call you Ed?
You don't need to. Everyone just calls me Echo.
Why? Because it gives you an elevated sense of purpose? Why? Because you're a good swimmer? Why? Because you'd bounce if I threw you at a wall? Well, I mean, this is what I'm thinking personally, but I'm not sure I should say it out loud. Why? Because you're a good swimmer? I don't understand this joke. Echo. Because you'd bounce if I threw you at a wall. At least this joke sort of makes sense to me. I mean, I'm sure this makes sense too, I just don't get it, so
Why?
I'll just go with this.
Because you'd bounce if I threw you against a wall?
What? No. Because I always come back. Again and again, until my job is done.
Not sure that's how echoes work.
You're protesting, right?
I certainly am. And now that you're here, I'm getting you involved.
What does that mean? Yeah, I haven't got time to hold up signs for you. I'm sorry.
You simply have to hear my message and take it with you.
Go ahead. I'm all ears. Plus, I have a little notebook.
What was the first thing you felt when you saw the sign for Boggy's Bog looming over you?
Well, I thought it
Not
was...
thought, felt.
I felt... Well, something seemed wrong. There wouldn't be a tourist attraction in the middle of a swamp like this. There shouldn't be.
My job is done. Clearly your brain is working perfectly, Detective.
So you're against the tourist attraction? Yeah, let's see. You'd rather this area was kept as a natural habitat, right?
Right again. And that precise word, habitat. First and foremost, I'm protesting for animal rights.
Well, okay, I'm following you, but it's not like they're cutting down trees or anything like that, right?
All animals deserve the right to live in peace, and I promise you, on a normal day, this place is far from peaceful.
Are you talking about the swamp creature? About Boggy?
A creature like that. He's earned the right to be left alone. We're fools to invite ourselves into his home like this on a daily basis, assuming he's not going to mind. Assuming he'll keep to himself and let us walk around with his face on our t-shirts.
Well, I agree. I think he should be left alone. But like you said, he can probably handle himself. And if no one has even seen him in 60 years, I don't really see the problem.
Unlike you, Detective, I never had an academic calling in life. I was never even a talented artist or musician or anything. So instead, I made the decision to stand up for those who were getting a raw deal.
Oh, he got a little foreboding there for a second. And the fact that he's not a talented artist or a musician, I mean, ignoring the musician bit, but the artist, if he's a bad artist, that, like, clearly points him toward being the one who drew the terrible costume. But I don't know. It could just be a red herring, right? Well, so far he's the most suspicious, but we'll see.
You come here every day.
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm only going to ask you about one of those days. What were you doing yesterday evening?
I was here at my protest spot until fairly late. Then I went to get something to eat at Harper's Cafe before I...
Wait, you ate at the cafe here? Doesn't supporting the tourist attraction like that kind of go against your protest?
A man has to eat, doesn't he? I don't think the meager contributions of one person are going to keep this place afloat. Especially now.
And you're sleeping here? Doesn't it get cold at night?
Well, I came prepared, of course. I usually find myself with 1 or 2 extra layers to wear. Most of this bulk is padding, I promise you.
I'm sure it is. So you stayed here the whole night?
That's right. And I admit I may have heard some stranger than usual sounds floating around the swamp last night.
What kind of sounds?
It's impossible to say. This place fills with the most terrifying sounds at night. Hundreds of animals, some tiny, some much larger, awaken and make their own protests. Every night until the sun rises in the morning.
Insects make noises at night. Okay, I've written it down.
Well, good thing I have a recording of some of those strange noises.
What can you tell me about these designs for a costume? A boggy
It's
costume.
Boggy! I must admit, I've been a fan of his before I ever came to the swamp.
A fan? So you're interested in cryptozoology?
Oh, no, I meant, well, Boggy has been in all kinds of cartoons and comic strips. He's one of the greatest characters of the last 100 years. I've got some comics in my tent. You really should see.
But he was only discovered 60 years ago.
Oh, that's true. Well, I rounded up.
But what about his costume? Have you seen anyone wearing it?
I can honestly say I've never seen anyone wearing anything like that. And I'm a very observant person. I'm afraid I have no idea.
Dude, come on. Alright.
Show it to somebody else.
Yeah.
No thanks, my friend. I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to some... No thanks, my friend. I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody else. No thanks, my friend. I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody. No thanks, my... I'm afraid I have no...
You're useless. What's your opinion on the murder
The
victim?
murder victim.
Since last night, yeah. But he was the owner of Boggy's Bog. Did you know him?
Not personally. To be honest, I'm quite glad about it.
Oh. Not gonna expand on that?
Boggy is my prime suspect, you know. The creature you're trying to protect.
Protect is the wrong word. If your suspicions were correct, we could both agree he's a creature that doesn't need protecting.
You think he might be the murderer?
I think he's a wild animal, and he wants to be left alone at any cost. Ah, yes, Agent Folder.
Oh, you're familiar
a
with
good
him.
man.
You know him?
We get on rather well, and we shared a number of views on the way things were run around here.
That's interesting.
You're asking the wrong person. He seems like a good person. He even sympathizes with my cause.
He agrees with your protest? But he works here, right? And he was friends with Remington.
I think that was the only reason he worked here. Maybe he'll see the light now and leave the swamp behind him. Maybe everyone will. A man who has sacrificed luxuries to protect those who need protecting. Pretty good beard, too. You're wasting your time with that one.
Really?
I have nothing to say about them.
Huh. He's got a lot more different dialogue options for all the other suspects.
You're asking the wrong person.
Okay.
A rather prominent tree stump looming over the wooden pathway. It's hard to ignore. These flower petals seem a little out of place, lying on the ground over there. These flower...
Can't I pick it up?
A rather prominent tree... It looks like this path leads towards the northwest corner of Boggy's Bog. I can't wait. I'm impressed someone managed to pitch a tent here, and I'm impressed someone would want to. It's a colorful, boggy-themed padlock. He's staring into my soul. It should open if I set the right number.
I don't think I've come across any particular numbers. Come back to that.
There's a narrow path here leading up that hill and through the trees.
Yeah, I know.
It
We've
doesn't
been
look
here.
inviting. I'm not sure it's part of the tourist attraction.
Weird.
There are bizarre footprints with 3 toes leading up to and back. Even though I have the key, this might not be as simple as I'd hoped. This door has 2 keyholes.
Okay.
So, which key should I use in each one?
Well, this one goes here. And this one goes here. Oh, that was a lot easier than I was expecting. Oh, look! The curtain! It's the print on the inside of the mask.
The open window looks over the wooden planks outside. Oh, and on one side, a part of the curtain has been ripped off.
That's a little weird. Why would they use Remington's curtain, office curtain, as the inside of the mask? Oh, did Remington make the costume? And then he was gonna go around pretending to be Boggy to, what's it? For like advertisement to hype up the Boggy monster.
An old hunting rifle, discarded carelessly near the window. This isn't the kind of thing I can ignore.
I mean, it doesn't tell me who killed him or anything, but I kind of have a feeling that's what's going on here. An old-fashioned hunting rifle found discarded on the floor in Remington's office. Great.
Something happened here. There are signs of a struggle between the desk and the window. Remington's desk is covered in drawings and maps and notes. It's all about Boggy. He was obsessed. An ink bottle spilled into his work. I'm sure he didn't do that on purpose. Yeesh, it's a bit of a mess. Perhaps there's something underneath those drawings.
See, he's a terrible artist.
It's a letter Remington was writing, before something caused him to spill his ink bottle. My dear fellow, I received your note 2 weeks ago, but have only recently found the time to do the appropriate research on the matter. I feel like my time in this awful swamp might finally come to a close. All due to the simple realization, the rest is obscured. What a tease.
Yeah. It's a map.
It's a note addressed to Richard Remington. The handwriting is immaculate. Richard, our man of the world. A little help is in order. We're worried that the efforts regarding our elusive little friend might be in vain. Send word when you can.
Did he make a deal with the movie director or something? Or maybe with the cameraman?
The letter is signed FF. And attached is a blurry little picture. It's some kind of metallic insect. The whole thing is a mystery. I have no idea. It's where we sent the letter, and it's some whole. Vincent Vanderpeer's business card. There's a couple of numbers scribbled on the back.
Oh. Vincent Vanderpeer. So, it wouldn't be him.
There's a map of the swamp lying on the desk. It's been annotated in a few places.
Okay.
There's a map of...
Can I take it?
There's a map of the... It's been... It's a... Set the letter... And it's some... Oh.
Hold on. Let me look at... FF. I mean, there's Agent Folder. So, like, his first name's like Frank or something. Frank Folder.
Photos and paintings line the wall above the fireplace. But one of the frames is empty. Wait a second. What are these pieces on the floor underneath it? This photo is ripped, but it looks important. If I can piece it together again, maybe it'll reveal a secret. This photograph, it's a young Remington, and some other men I don't know. They're all holding rifles. Maybe I can ask Harper about it.
First Order of Cryptozoological Hunters. Headquarters 1963. I could show this to Folder. He'd probably know some information. A group photo of a hunting club. A younger Remington stands among friends. They are all holding rifles. Oh, wait. Wait, sorry. I wasn't done looking at that. Here, page 2. Okay, yeah, it was just a close-up of him. Cool.
Remington's desk is covered in an ink bottle. Perhaps this is the creepiest office I've ever been in. Ever. These animals. They're all... They're not... I don't recognize any of them. Photos and... But one of... Wait, this photograph and some other men... Maybe I can ask... Hunting memorabilia. Claws, teeth. It would be an impressive collection if it wasn't so disturbing. Hunting memorabilia. These animals... Something there.
So if all these cryptozoological animals are real, then maybe one of them came and got revenge. Because, I mean, this kind of looks like a werewolf type thing. You know, some of them are probably pretty smart. This looks a bit like, frick, what's it called? Buckbeak is a thing. Blanking out on my cryptozoological names here.
I probably shouldn't leave until I've searched a bit more thoroughly. It's a sharp metal poker for a fireplace, hidden in the shadows. Something about those 3 prongs. I feel like I just stumbled across an incredibly important piece of evidence.
Oh, so the 3-pronged was used as the weapon to kill him. A fire poker hidden in Remington's office. It has 3 small prongs on the end. There is a small amount of dried blood on the tips of the prongs, covered in a strange liquid slime. The 3 prongs match up with Remington's wounds. Could this be the murder weapon?
Have I uncovered a secret in here?
Blank explains why, disproves that, is historical evidence that, shouldn't be the reason, explains what. Sally's face. Remington's desk. Blank was found at the crime scene, belonged to a secret society, was a ghost, murdered the victim. The hunting photo is historical evidence that Richard Remington belonged to a secret society.
The hunting photo is historical evidence that Richard Remington belonged to a secret society. I'm getting a strong feeling that Remington might be the bad guy in this story.
Yeah.
If he wasn't already dead, I would have loved to ask him a couple of questions. I should ask around, see if I can gather any information about his motives for being here.